Hi, everyone. You are welcome to the Directorate of Entrepreneurship and General Studies, National Open University of Nigeria, Certificate in Entrepreneurship Education. Today, we are going to look at Module 2, titled Creativity and Innovation. I am your facilitator, Dr. Helen B. Inyang. These are our intended learning outcomes. By the end of this module, you will be able to create a problem-solving ideas, turn those ideas into innovation, and identify the determinants of business success. Explain innovation and creativity. Explain theories of innovation and creativities. Highlight the role of creativity and innovation in business. You will also be able to state how to manage challenges in creativity and innovation. Then highlight the significance of creativity and innovation as a determinant of business success. Now, what is creativity and innovation? Creativity, as the name implies, is the ability to develop new ideas and to discover new ways of looking at problems and opportunities. Creativity is the act of turning new and imaginative ideas into reality. Creativity is the act of channeling imagination into something concrete. It is the very first stage of design, where ideas start to actually take forms and a plan can be developed. While innovation, on the other hand, is the ability to apply creative solutions to these problems and the opportunities in order to enhance people's lives or to enrich the society. Innovation also is a process of turning new concepts into commercial success or widespread use. Innovation is the successful exploitation of new ideas. It involves turning an invention into a commercial success and encouraging its widespread uses. At this stage, this is the stage where bold ideas, once properly developed, are brought to public eye, as will make people who now look at it and also appreciate it. So here we can say that, looking at this, the figure here, creativity and innovation. Creativity gives birth to innovation. From here, give rise to innovation. We can also say that creativity can be described as bringing a unique approach and a way of thinking to the way you do things. While invention, on the other hand, can be thought of as a result of a creative process, ending up with a new and a better product or service. Like I said before, creativity gives rooms to invention or innovation. That is, creativity is all about you think of new ideas, thinking about new ideas. That is the input. While innovation is putting into action these new ideas, which will give us the output. Then having looked at this, let us quickly look at the different examples of creativities and innovation. These are the examples of creativities: problem solving, brainstorming, experiments, and storytelling. So let's look at them one after the other. When we talked about problem solving, it is a process, the process of finding solutions to difficult or complex ideas. Problem solving is a process of achieving a goal by overcoming obstacles. That's a frequent part of most activities. Then coming to brainstorming. Brainstorming is a group problem-solving method that involves the spontaneous contribution of creative ideas and solutions. Or we can say that brainstorming is the modeling over of ideas by one or more individuals in an attempt to devise or find a solution to a problem. Then looking at the experiment. A business experiment enables the applying of research, application of research tools and techniques to test different assumptions or hypotheses, and then subject this assumption or hypothesis to measurements, validation, and analysis, so that you can come out with an evidence or come to an evidence-based conclusion. Then storytelling is a process of sharing relatable stories instead of facts and figure with your audience. That is, telling them stories about your ideas, your new conceived ideas, your new business or services. So you tell them stories about their products or services, the testimonies of their intended products or services, what it will do to the people, how it would add values, how it will satisfy the taste of people. Then compelling stories can communicate to and connect with, you can do this to your employers. You tell them, employers, even we have innovators that are employees or employers. So you can connect your employees with this, your new ideas. You can connect your customers. You can also collaborate, your collaborators, connect your collaborators to it, your partners, and everyone else connected to your business. You tell them the stories. As far as this storytelling, there are 4 pieces of stories. We have the people, the place, the plot, and the purpose. Then let us also quickly look at the examples of innovation. One of the examples is a bag that slows cook food. That's innovation. It slows cook food. The cooked food will not go bad easily. And also, a bottle light bulb is an innovation, a bulb that looks like a bottle. Then we have a mobile water safety check. It's also an innovation. So we also have solar rechargeable hearing aids and wearable breast cancer detector. These are innovations. But note, one thing is that innovation cannot happen without creative or invention, or creativity or invention. And neither creativity nor invention is useful in business if not properly executed. Then looking at this, let us quickly look at the relationship between the two, innovation and creativity, indicating the inclusive and distinctive. Innovation or creativity and innovation in entrepreneurship is all about the opportunities. Both of them is having opportunities. You have opportunities to solve problems, opportunities to bridge the gap, opportunities to change your environment, and also opportunities to create new things, bring in new things, innovate new things. That's the relation. It's all about idea. A new idea, a new way of doing things, alternative process, or a combination of both. Creativity and innovation is all about invention. Inventing new products or services or processes or combination of them. Then it's all about commercialization. That's the relationship. Talks about commercialization. Resources acquisition, that is the inputs. You convert these inputs into profitable ventures and line them up that will give you profits. Then, in a nutshell, creativity that is a cognitive process of overcoming gap. That is a first creation through thinking. While innovation is an action or execution. That is the second creation through implementation. That is actual carrying out. Those are the relationship between innovation and creativity. Then we are quickly going to look at the different steps involved. Creative problem involves different steps. The first step is approaching a problem in an imaginative ways. Approaching a problem in an imaginative ways. That is the problem solving involves approaching a problem in an imaginative ways, innovative, and unconventional ways. This process encourages you to find new creative ways of thinking that can be or that can help you overcome issues at hand more quickly. Then let's quickly look at the different steps as far as problem solvings are concerned. We have them about 7 steps, which we are going to look at them one after the other. Identify the goals. That's goals identification as far as the steps are concerned. Goals identification. Then you identify the goals. Before solving a problem, you need to fully understand the problem you are trying to solve. That's one thing you should have at the back of your mind before you solve any problem. You must understand the problem you are trying to solve. You may have overlooked or misunderstood some details. So now you take time to analyze the complex and clear up the confusion. Then the second one is collection, that is data gathering. Once you know what the problem is, now you need to learn all you can do about it. Who does this problem affect? You look at those people that your problems affect. Those are the questions you should look at. Who is involved in solving the issues? Then you gathered all the knowledge you can gain. You can to gain a better understanding of issues and to solve it. The next one is the formulate challenging questions. You have to formulate challenging questions. That's after gathering the data, the details, you gathered all the details you need, then you turn the problems into a question. The data collection, you turn them into a questions. What your questions in such a way that encourages suggestions or ideas. Then it should be short. The questions you are going to ask should be short, coincide, and only focus on a single issue. You don't combine them. Once you have created one or two questions, then you now try to answer them one after the other. You try to answer the questions, and then what you do now, the next one, the fourth problem step is explore the ideas. This step is where brainstorming begins. You will be creating problem ideas or solutions to problems you are facing. This is usually when creativity really starts to flow. With so many ideas flowing, it's crucial that so like I said, you explore the ideas. So the steps, that is where brainstorming begins. So with so many ideas flowing, it is crucial that you write each of them down. That's one thing you need to do. You write them down. The good ones and the stupid ones. Even if the idea you come up with has little to no chance of working, put them in writing, put them down, write them down. Then try now to sort out the bad ideas from the good ones. During this step, can squeeze creativities. That is to keep your ideas organized. Now you consider a flowchart. Consider using a flowchart or mind mapping templates. And then you now captured all your ideas and help you then zero in a one solution. That is, after doing this, you sieve them out. You now come up with just a solution. Then coming up with this solution, that is a fifth one now. You come up with solution. Then now you weed out the average ideas from the winners by testing each one. See if the possible solution actually solves the problem. And if you can implement it successfully. Then if the potential solution doesn't resolve the issues, now move to the next idea until at the end of it, then evaluating each idea will help you zero in a perfect solution. You sieve them one after the other. Then you come up with a perfect solution to the problem. The sixth step is Now create an action plan. Having come up with a perfect solution, you need to create an action plan outlining implementation steps. Consider what resource you need and how long it will take you. Then write all of them down. Then once you create the plan, communicate the approach to the rest of the team as your partners in the organization, so that they'll also be aware of what you are doing, what is going on. No man is an island of knowledge. You communicate the ideas you have to your team members, and then you'll be able to work with it. Then action now, take action. Taking action with your own plan now, with your plan created and your team on board, you have already communicated the plan, your action plan to your people, to those your team members. And then those team on board now, it is now time to implement your solution and resolve the problem. That is all about problem solving. Then we are going to also consider, we have done this, the problem solving, you have done this, and then the next step we are going to look at is what we are going to look at now is having done that, the next thing is we are going to look at is how to turn your idea into innovation. How do you turn these ideas, your own ideas, what you have conceived them now, how do you turn them into innovation? Or how do you improve these your problem skills? We are going to consider how to improve these problem skills. How do you improve your problem skills? Number one, here, keep track of your ideas. Number two, have the right mindset. Number three, ask for feedback. When you ask questions, let them, whatever you do, get a feedback. Ask your customers to give you a feedback. 4, get good at making decisions. That's, you have to be a good decision maker, even if you are admittedly lukewarm or on your choice, but you have to take the right decision. 5, consider the different perspectives. What are the perspectives you have in mind? You just look at them, weigh them all together. Have mentors and role models. No man is an island of knowledge. You must have mentors. You must have people that are already there in the business and get knowledge from them. Though it's not all mentors that are good, that will want to tell you everything that you need to do. But you must have, there are some good people that will help you when you are starting a business. Then have some fun. You have time, at least to relax your mind. It's not all about work, 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 work. That's how to improve your Have mind, time that your brain will be at rest. You don't always thinking, how do I solve this problem? Then have faults, but know when to break the habit. You have faults, but you must know when to break this habit, this fault. Have faults, know when to break them. Then use or create diagrams. You can put things in pictures, in diagrams. So that once you just look at it, you'll be able to, this is how I should do this, you know. They employ visionary. You must have a vision of what you are doing. You can't be static. You must have a vision. What will happen tomorrow? What will happen tomorrow? How do I go about it? Supposing this happened, how do I go about it? Ask solution-oriented questions. From time to time, give your customers, your consumers questionnaires. Let them feel. Ask them questions. Solution-oriented questions that by the time you bring it back, you'll be able to solve the problems of the consumers, of your customers. Or if you prefer a more scientific team, allow things to incubate. At least give some time, allow those things to incubate, and then by the time during that incubation stage, you'll be able to come out with a very good solution. Frame a problem as a question. The problem should come in form of a question. Then send it to your audience, your intended consumers, or your customers. Then make reflection a habit. Reflect back. Go back to where you started. And then reflect, how am I making progress? Have I been able to solve these problems? Go back to your drawing board. Where you are in a fix, you can ask for help. That is why there is need for collaborators. That is why you need mentors. That is why you need role models. When you are in a fix, ask questions that will help you. Then take calculated risks, not risks that will pull you down. There are some risks that are calculated, risks that will help you to make profits, risks that will help you to bring you out of the dark into the light. Those are the risks that you need to take. Calculated risks. Risks that will showcase you to the public. Then set and measure your goals. You set your goals and measure them if they are achievable. So the next thing we will look at now is so now is how to turn ideas. How do you turn your ideas into innovations? So we are going to look at different ways of turning ideas into innovations. As we have seen them here, we have ask customers, build a prototype, share your idea, develop minimum MVP, use business models, canvas, and develop a product. So we are going to look at them one after the other. We'll look at them one after the idea, or one after the other. Ask customers. Ask your customers questions. So first explore if there is real demand for your ideas. That's the first thing you should have at the back of your mind. If there is real demand for your ideas, and then often people are putting time and effort in an idea that nobody really cares about. You know, sometimes people will now spend their time come up with the idea that nobody is not in vogue. People do not need it. So if you are wondering if you stumble upon something valuable, ask your potential customers or your customers, is it good? How do I go about it? Will you like it? Do you like this type of things? Then in the end, there are the one that will determine your success. The feedback they will give you will determine whether they really need this, whether by the time you produce this and take it to the market, you see buyers. If you already have customers, check if they are willing to pay for your new products or service. So if they do not see the value in your idea, then try to figure why they don't like it. Don't just assume. No, always double check. Sometimes customers like new ideas for different reasons. So you don't need to assume that, this is why they like this. They may like it for a different thing, but if you assume, if you build whatever you are doing on assumption, you may fail. When you ask them, why do you like this thing? They will give you the reason why they like it. They might even help you to develop a better proposition about your ideas. So even when you are portraying these ideas to them, you don't need to talk much about money. I know money is a key thing, but then you don't need to talk about money, how much it will cost. But talk about the value of their idea. Talk about the satisfaction they will derive in making use of their products or service. Talk about the problems that their products or service will solve for them. Those are the things you should consider. Then the next thing is build up a prototype. An idea is nothing. When you conceive an idea, it's just nothing. Before you do something else, make sure that your idea is tangible. Your idea should be made concrete right away. The reason why your idea, sometimes people's ideas have never seen the light of the day is because they are kept in mind. They are kept in the mind of the creator. You may conceive an idea, but if you don't bring forth that idea, put into practice, bring it to people to see, it will die like that. That is how their idea will die. So you come up with a prototype. Don't be shy in any way. Give your idea a name and a face. Don't hide it. Make a drawing of a sketch of your ideas. Create a storyboard. You can also use role play. Write a script about your idea or service. Create a video to showcase your ideas to the public. Then you can use clay, you can use tape, you can use paint, you can use paper, logo, bricks, and whatever you can lay your hand on. So bring out your ideas to the public. Let me tell you, even the most abstract concepts can be made concrete once you bring it to the light. Don't fall in love with opaque things that nobody will see, with figureness. If you want to be an innovator, learn to make things visual, things that will come out, that will be seen. Make things seen, create things that will be seen. People will look at it and say, this is good. Great ideas are like legendary, that is stories, legendary storytellings. They are like synopses. that can be explained in only just 1 or 2 sentences. That's great ideas. And always make sure the key thing is that bring out your ideas into light. Let people see and understand. Even if they want to criticize you, when you are starting something at a new, there must be criticisms. But then don't give a damn to it. Go ahead, provided you know that what you are doing is correct. There are some people that will be there to help you. Your customers, your intended customers, will help you to build it up. Also, share your ideas. Share your ideas. No man is an island of knowledge, but make sure that you share it to the sincere people, to the people that cares, people of like minds, people that will also have the same mind like you, people that will help you to build up the ideas to become something meaningful. So since you now have developed this prototype, it is now time to put your ideas to test. Share it with the world. Let people see. And this is what I've been able to come out with. And then can you test it and then tell me whether you like it or not? Yes, people will love you. Like I said, there are some people that will criticize you. And they will probably make fun of you, fun of your ideas. But I want to tell you that there are some, they will make the whole thing so ugly. That their ideas, they will make this ugly baby of yours to become stronger, because by the time they laugh at it, you see where the mistake is, and then you come up again, build it up, and then come out to perfect. So no idea whatsoever has been born perfect. No. There must be one deficiency or the other. So don't hide it simply because it is too fragile. People will not buy this idea. They won't like it. Put it out there and collect the feedback. Let them hear, your product is good. It is delicious. Your juice, if you want to go into maybe fruit juice production, your juice is not tasting well, it's not good. You didn't do this and that. Those things, those feedback they are giving you will help you to build up and come out with something stronger. But if you just hide it inside your bedroom, you will never see the light of the day. So what is good about this idea? People will ask, what can you add to it? Then what can you remove? Those criticisms will enable to help you to know what to put and what not to put, what to remove. How are the people responding to it? What do they like or hate about it? Then how are they interacting with you? Some will laugh you to scorn. Some will say, oh boy, madam, you have tried, but this is what and what you're supposed to do to make it more perfect. Those things are there. Then collect the feedback and go back to your drawing board. By the time you get those things, go back to your drawing board. The next time you showcase your product or service will be much better than the first time you did. Then another thing you need to do is to develop minimum viable products. Prototyping is a great method to explain an idea. It's also allowed you to collect feedbacks and might lead to great ambassadors. Usually, you need to take your idea one step further, one step at a time to earn money with it. That's one thing. Working towards a minimum viable product is a great way of developing something valuable with minimal resources. You use the little available resources in economics. The human wants are unlimited, but the resources to meet these wants are limited. They are scarce. So with the scarce resources you have, you'll be able to come up with buyable products. So what's the minimum your customers are willing to pay for it? Come out with a product. How much do they want to pay? What's the simplest version of your ideas that you can charge people for? Those are the things, the services you render. How much will you charge them? But come up with something reasonable, not exploiting people, but something at least by the end of it, you will only, at least you make money from it, not exploiting people. And people, you yourself, the producers, as well as the end users, the customers will go home satisfied. Then use a business model canvas. In the course of this training, you'll be exposed to the business model canvases in different, because there will be a topic on that, business modeling. So you have the business modeling. Then the business model canvas have become quite trendy and not without reasons. It is a great tool, a very big tool to make your entire business clear in a single slide. That is a canvas. It tells people about what you, in fact, you know that the angel investors, if your business model is good, once they, at a glance, they will say, this is a very good business. We would love to invest on this type of business. So there you start defining your customer segment in a business model canvas. Map out who you want to serve and what their needs are. You make it. And then the next thing you look at is what are the value proposition in the business. And in a business model canvas has about 9 building blocks. Has the 9 building blocks. In the course of this training, you come to know the different 9 building, but I will just mention them to you. You have the customer segment, the value proposition, the channels, the customer's relationship, the key activities, the key resources, the key partnership, the key costs, revenue streams. That make it 9 building blocks, which we are not going to discuss till maybe you are next when you come to talk about business model. Then develop a product roadmap. That's another thing, the 6th thing you have to consider. How to turn your ideas into innovation. You develop a product roadmap. Always think ahead and consider what the next version of your idea might look like. What your mission and visions are. What is the potential of your ideas? You still need to look at it. If you want to sell your ideas to your customers or to your CEO or to your team, make sure that you can paint a vivid picture of where you are going. Let them know, let them understand. Things in visions and in results. You have to think that way. What results will they come out with? Always measure your actions. Measure your actions. Name every new visions or versions of the ideas you have or your work. Give a deadline to it. Describe a new visions and so on. Then by so doing, you'll be able to come out with something concrete. You know where you are going. You'll also be able to define your success, where you are going and how to measure it. That is a roadmap, a product roadmap. Then having looked at this, let us also look at 4 steps for successful innovations. These are the 4 steps. You must have that innovation culture. which this involves everybody, every entrepreneur. Innovation cultures, rapid prototypes works. You must look at it. What works? Research and ideation. You must carry out research from time to time. Send out questionnaires to know what your customers like and what is possible, what is obtainable. You know, we are in a dynamic and changing world. So from time to time, things changes. The demands also changes. So you must be dynamic as far as business is concerned. Then education and discovery. What is the current state? You must educate yourself. Involve yourself in reading. Know what people read papers and then know what you are, the trend, what is in vogue as far as your products or services is concerned. Governance, good governance. If you are an entrepreneur, a CEO, you must be able to govern your organizations well. Then build the foundation and build the foundation. By so doing, you'll be able to be a very good or a successful innovator. Innovator. Then determinants of business success. What are the determinants of this business success? How do you succeed in this business? We're looking at those things. How will you be able to succeed as far as business is concerned? There are in two ways. We have the startup awareness as well as management skills. Startup awareness is up to 3. Opportunities awareness. Whereas, do you know what are the opportunities you have in this business? What are the different models you intend to use? You look at your business model, like I said, business model canvas, the building blocks, what are your targets and what you want? What are your team members and so on? Then the strategy involves in this business. Feasibilities. Is it feasible? You carry out feasibility studies and know whether the business is feasible or not. Your business plan is very, very important when you are starting off, because every time you go back to the drawing board, the location is very important for the startup. Location is very, very important. You cannot establish a business where that product or services is not needed because you run at a loss. You must look at the locations in business for startup business. Then amounts of seed capital. How much do you have at hand? Also matters in business. The source of capital. Where do you intend to get your resources, your capital? Where do you intend to get them? Your inputs, your raw materials, your finance, and so on. Then decision-making abilities. The success of your business is on the decision you make, determines the type of decision you make, determines the success or failure of business. You must have a very good decision initiatives. Then looking at what determines in managerial skill, the general management skills. Planning, coordination, controlling, organization, and so on. All those things matters as far as business is concerned. Strategic management skills also is very, very important. Organizational management skills is needed, highly needed. Technical skills is also needed for you to be a successful manager business. Financial management skills is also very important. You don't always everything. You can't lump in all your resources into a business. You must have things for reserve. And you cannot also spend everything, every resources that comes in. Your income, you can't spend them at all at the time. No. Then leader skills too is very, very important. Leadership skill is very important as far as business is concerned. Communication skill, that is another aspect of business success. If you want to succeed, you must be a very good communicator. You must have a hearing ears, and also you must communicate from the top to the lowest. You don't need to break your communication, that gap shouldn't be there. Because if that gap is there in business, that business is bound to fail. Inventory management skill. From time to time, you take stock of your inputs, resources, and income. Everything, you take stock of what you have in your organization. Marketing skill, there are some people that will have a very good products, but they don't have what it takes to market their product, to sell it, to make it sellable. Marketing skill is also very, very important. Contingency management skills too is very important. Control and system skill. You control your business, the system you use, and then growth-oriented skill. How do you intend? Because you can't be static. You must be. Business is about dynamic. You must, at least their business is give room for expansion. This is what we need. So these are the determinants of business success. If you can't embrace this, then you are bound to succeed in business. But if you don't have a good knowledge on all this, then, well, there is a question mark to it. This now will take us to the theories of innovation and creativities. We have the different theories of innovation and creativities. We have the system theories. These are the theories. Then we know that with globalization, many scholars believe that organizations have significant changes and challenges from within and outside the entity. Also, we should have this at the back of our mind that indeed, the changes have profound impact on productivities, and then the theory has to, and other managerial effects of the organization, thereby necessitating the creative and innovative minds, which could steer up to a greater height of the development. Then the level of creative potentials that organization may be, as the theory, those are the rules of theories and of innovation and creativity. The level of creative potentials that the organization may be unable to enhance so that they could maximize efficiency. Then beside, the fourth one is beside the organization might react to employees' creativities and innovation. That the reaction can also remunerative them or deter them from achieving the objectives, or the encourage them to go an extra mile with such innovative ideas. So those are the changes that we need to. Then let's look at the different theories themselves. We have different theories. Let's look at them. These are the theories explained of the concept of creativity and innovation. Let's look at them one after the other. The first theory we are going to look at is the Jungian theory of creativity, then followed by system theories, the functionalist theories, the interpretative theories, the racial humanist theories, as well as the racial structuralism theories. So we are going to consider them one after the other. We will speak briefly on each of these theories. So let's consider the Jungian theory. The Jungian theory here talks about that the theory suggests that creativity and innovation involves the addition and subtraction of issues and objects to make completely new and complex one that overcome the limitation of the previous aspects. Then looking at it, that beside that, the subtraction so the Jungian theory is most concerned about outcome other than the input, because some of the contributions could be removed for a better product. They are most concerned about that each person has a way of creating unique objects using some applied or applying the experimental means of overcoming failure during the process. Through creativities, the person can learn the simplest way of doing things. The fourth one is that the intended results are achievable after persistent trials and mistakes, which make the inventor learn the most appropriate way of nurturing the elements to achieve desirable and great objectives. That's all about the Jungian theories. Then let's quickly look at the system theories. The system theory, as the name implies, is on innovation and creativity. The system theory is classified under domain individual field interaction. That is DIFI, domain individual field interaction. So the theory acknowledges that creativity and innovatives are reliant on products, processes, place, and persons. And then from here now, they also classified the domains here. As the domains here there is 3 interrelated aspects, which includes person, the domain, and the field that supports the creativities. The 3 aspects brings changes to organization and then how the management executes this change. The elements are of great importance of evaluating success of the organizational objectives. These scenarios now are the persons. Who are the persons? The persons here are the individuals. We have the persons here, that is, it transmit the existing body of knowledge. The persons here are individual practitioners, the people that will undergo this. Then the genetic makeup, that is, has to do with experience, talents, and experiences. The individuals, some of them have genetic makeup, some of them are talented in one thing or the other. They do then, looking at the field. The field here is the community of practice, that is the gatekeeper, those where the business is actually taking place. That is the social system. It has to do with their norms and beliefs. Then the domain here is the knowledge. The domain talks about the knowledge, as it means the semantic knowledge that the person has to access. If the current rules of organization or the domain is that he or she may create new things or new ones, then the concept is mostly applicable to the experts within the domains who are conversant with the system, not just people that do not know anything. They are good. They also know the culture and the values of that system. Then the supportive field here, that is the company, has no significant individuals can take place in isolation, or innovation. No significant innovation can take place in isolation without the medium that seek the adjustment on the legal framework and the process of operation. So from here now, we have been able to see the cultural system has to do with the domain, then the individual system, that is the person itself, that has to do with genetic makeup, and then the field, the community itself, that is the social system. And then evaluate the innovation and retain selected ones. These are then we can see the innovations here. the creativities. The arrows here goes up and down. There is two-way flows. It flows into two ways. It flows both ways. Goes up from a person to the social system, from the social system to the field, cultural system, from the cultural system to the field, and then it produces back to the person, the genetic makeup. And then it goes up again from the field to the domain, that is the cultural system, and then from the cultural system to the person, individual practitioner, and back to the social system. It's all about the systematic theories. Then let us look at the interpretative theories. Interpretative theories here says that there is a proponent of this theory argue that creativity and innovation are subjective, depending on personal interpretation and judgment. The new idea that one person might introduce to the operation in the organization could be perceived differently by the colleagues and the management team. The latter might presume that the ideas are intended to derail the smooth operation in the company. Thereby, they may not be willing to support the proposal. So significantly, the various form of interpretation of our ideas become reason for considering it a subjective. Creativity is subjective. That is why they said creativity is subjective. Looking at it, it has to pass through a system of the system, the firm and the territories. The ideas one will bring, others may not buy that idea. It will now be subject to competitive. And then by the time that they have been able to compete and then come up with something, and that is when effective co-evaluation will be adaptation will come in. People will now say, oh, this idea is very good, let's buy the ideas. But before then, it will be subjective. People will not even buy the idea. They will have a lot of reasons for not accepting it. And then later now, after this, it will give room to sustainable development. Once the ideas is being adopted, it will give room to sustainable development. And then it will now create values. Values, people will now get it, and then it will be something good. People will like it and appreciate it. The taste or the services will be unique and special. People will like it. And then local, and it will spread to the local market as well as national market, even sometimes international system. Then interpretative theories, that is the basic ideas behind it, is that the social world is a world made up of purposeful actors who acquired, share, and interpret a set of meanings, rules, and norms that make social interaction possible. In the school, children acquire a sense of society way of life by learning its tradition, history, and its norms of cooperation and public service. So let's look at the functionalist theories. So what is functionalism? It is a framework for building theories that sees society as a complex system whose part works together to promote solidity and stability. Functionalism is in sociology sees the part of the society as a component of cohesive whole. Each part performs useful functions. Here we look at the explanation, and then we look at the different key institutions. Functionalism was a predominant theoretical framework for sociological thinking till 1960s, after which it began to retreat following criticisms that is from feminisms, postmodernisms, and postcolonialisms. The postcolonialisms, the functionalist perspective is in sociological view. The functionalist perspective is that, or in the sociological view, is the family views the family as a basic building block. As everything starts, socialization starts from the family, the basic building block of the society. It performs several functions that are critical to the smooth functioning of the society. The perspective is that you have this perception that the key institution here is that religion. The key institution is the religion, the school, and families are important social institutions according to functionalism. The family is the primary agent of the socialization of a child. That is this child. There is a school is a intermediary agent that is go in between the family and the society at large. The school is the intermediary agent or between the family and the social system or the society. Religion provides a sense of security and belonging, much like a family. That is, it also looks like, it's just like a family. Religion helps to mold the society. Then let's look at the racial humanist theories. These theories of creativity relate to creativities and innovation. That is according to racial humanist theories. Has to do with self-actualization. Then personal consciousness is dependence on organizational concepts and deliverables, which leads to increasing or decreasing the ability of the person to come up with a new and useful ideas. Then it also looks at organizational and mind structure. That this also said that organizational and mind structure could enhance or hinder creativity. Then there is need for interplay between the concerned personalities and the organizational affiliations. They also look at the domination of any one structure. That domination of any one structure could affect the outcome of innovation. Then for the person's creativity to be fully fulfilling, there is that need for liberation. So the society, the person, human being, needs to be liberated from domination. It's not all about my own. Everybody has equal rights to go ahead and carry out, exercise his skills, demonstrate his skills, or innovative or creative or innovational skills. Then the last one is the racial structuralism theories. They said that conflict is a social phenomenon. The proponent of these theories said that conflict is a social phenomenon that necessitates a social change. They explain that there are certain structures, arrangements, and processes whose impact creates significant interference with the people's creativity and ability to bring important changes in the system. They also stresses the assumption that the creativity does not only arise from a section of individuals, but all have equal chances. That is, not only everybody has equal chances of being creative. Everybody has that innovative and creative spirit. But the only thing that matters is how you be able to come up. Some buried it, have that creative thought, but they buried it, they won't come out. So everybody has equal chance of being creative. They also say that adherence to certain procedures, each person has equal chance of contributing to the change creatively. Everybody, when you adhere to certain procedures. You have equal chance. Everybody has a chance of being a contributing factors to creativity, development in an area, so an innovations. Let's quickly look at the rules of creativity and innovations. What are the rules of creativity and innovations? This involves, it helps, creativity and innovation helps to develop new ways of improving an existing product or service to optimize the business. Number two, is they help to, a well-run company have always been recognized as a sure path to success. That's a well-run, innovative or creative business as a sure path to success. Number three, creativity and innovation improve a process of problem solving. It helps in problem solving. Number four, creativity's idea and innovative approach can come from almost everywhere, from your partners, from your customers, target groups, or employees. So it can come from anywhere. Number five, innovation in entrepreneurship. Future success of the companies depends on innovation. Future success of any company depends on innovation. Bringing new things, making things new, peculiar and unique. Creativity leads to innovation is the often phrase that imply how creativity and innovation are related and needed entrepreneurship. Number eight, creativity and innovation leads to increase in productivities. Then leads to increase in productivities. Once you are being creative, people will like bringing every time new things coming up. Oh, this is quite different from the, you see, you have so much customers. As a result, there will be high demand, which will lead to increase in production. It helps to market one's business. When you are a creative thinker and innovative person, you'll be able to devise various marketing strategies to market your business. It helps you. Creativity and innovation also help you to beat your competitors hands down. You beat them hands down because you're a creative person. People, no, this is, before you know it, you have gone very far. Your competitors will be very backward behind you. Then challenges in creativity and innovation and how to overcome them. What are those challenges in creativity and innovation? How do we overcome these challenges? So we are going to look at them one after the other. So one of the challenges is the impartial expectation for innovation. Impartial expectation for innovation. Extracting insight about what could go wrong and making room for possible errors will be a build, measure, learn attitudes that can help deliver the best business value possible. After all, innovation takes patience and time to implement, you know. It takes patience. You have to have patience in what you cannot just, impatience will bring this. This I thought by the now this thing is supposed to start, I'm supposed to start reaping dividends from what I am doing. No, you have to be patient, develop them one after the other. So now you develop the mental grit to go on by setting goals for yourself and expectation while embracing a test small, fail quick, and learn quickly mindset in an atmosphere where certain delays hold back patience, you know. At least you need to be patient. That's how to overcome it. So when you discuss innovation process with defined goal and expectation, and expected outcomes to set the right expectation, you have to be patient in whatever you are doing. Then the next one is unempowered team. That's another setback challenges. unempowered innovation team. You can see that many managers fear that innovation will distract employees from their day-to-day rules or activities. So as a result, some of them do not feel to reward their employees that are good, do not feel empowered. That is, to empower them is they look at it as being taking risks to empower the new ideas. No. So internal innovation requires a support, of leadership. Anybody, an innovator, somebody that is good in business. An employee can be an innovator, but an employer should also look at that, and then we'll be able to appreciate them, empower them. Don't just be afraid that they will take over from you. No. Encourage the employee to spend time innovating, or you also motivate them in one way or the other through incentives, programs, through one thing or the other. Then you can see that by the time you do this, you'll be able to overcome these challenges. Another thing is lack of innovation strategies. This is a very serious setback to innovations. Innovation strategies also delete. Strategy detects the direction of innovation and its operational implementation. Without one innovation effort risks misalignment. Develop an innovation plan and be transparent. You have to be transparent with your employees about transparency. Be transparent with them. Ask for their insight over things. No man is an island of knowledge. You ask for their insight. Let them also bring in their ideas. And then you must also make sure that you are keeping them on board. Let them know what is going on, including how they will also participate in the work, and also you appreciate them. Bring them into device strategies of encouraging your employees. Weak innovation culture. This is another setback of a challenge to business. So once you discover what you need to be done by learning from your current innovation culture, then ask your employee for their insights. Ask them. By the time you come up with this innovation culture, ask them what insight. And if something isn't working well as it should, figure out what needs to be done or what needs to be altered and make appropriate change. So assess where you and your teams of innovators are not doing well. Recognize where you stand innovatively. Then offer a proper indication of what rules, laws, activities, and procedures you need to put in place to foster an innovative culture. Another one is lack of managerial support. You must align your business goals with your innovative strategies. It is not only add business value to your innovative output. No, you don't only add values. Also secure backing from the management as if it should also meet the business objectives. Once you are doing it, be very clear on your innovation plans and execution methods. You must be very clear. Then you define them very well. Make it understandable. Let people know. Then make sure that you communicate it. Communication, this communicates confidence and also indicates superior knowledge on the matter at hand. So why innovation ideas not always be prioritized is that so their own innate potentials. It is an essential factor for executives to consider upon deciding to support an innovative endeavor. Some people doesn't want it that bad. You want to come and take over my business from me. So, and then you also make sure that your concept has a strong economic values. The concepts you portray must have a strong economic values. Another difficulties is also resistance to change. You know, so many entrepreneurs are very, very resistant to change, businessmen and women. So misunderstanding regarding the change you wish to implement may contribute to the impressions. People will now educate your employees how this innovation can help you as an organization and how it can help them perform their tasks very well. Because so many are, they would call you new normals, everything or one thing or the other. So these are one thing that also many people are diehard. They don't want to change, but they want to see, let me see it first. Devise a way of convincing your employees to make sure that the change will be good. And then not only imposing it on them, ask them their own opinion. And then give them the reason why your opinion is good. Then lack of internal and external collaboration. Collaboration matters a lot. Have a very strong team in your business. Bring in people that will help you. Bring in hands that will help you, credible hands that will help you to work as a team. Innovation ecosystem brings together industry's partners, customers, and even competitors to drive innovation in an industry forward. Bring in people to help you, both internally and externally, internal collaborators. Difficulties in transition from one phase to the next. That is, developing a coherent innovation plan is critical for seamless execution of projects. And innovation strategy directs the course of innovation as well as its practical execution. Without one effort to innovate, risks become misaligned. So difficulties to translate, to change, to do, maybe go from the next step to the other. So risks should also, you make sure that you assess risks ahead of time. So determine what may possibly go wrong at each stage of the process and devise a countermeasure to assure its continuity. So these are the things, you know, there are a lot of business is all about risks, but make sure that you measure risks at a time. You look at it and then see, if it comes, what will I do to survive? So adopt a test and learn strategy. Treat each step as a learning opportunity so that you don't see any difficulties in shifting a sign or in shifting as a sign of failure. No, you won't see. Then be cautious about this, as it might get costly if not executed in a limited scale. Then you also embrace constraints. Embrace constraint difficulties, embrace risks. Constraints brings great success for those engaged in innovation work. It brings great success. It is counterintuitive to some, but constraints can create clarity of purpose, enable people's teams and organizations to design the right constraints that create conditions for innovation to emerge and be applied. So constraints give room to inspiration. Don't just always, no, this is, because by the time you face one obstacle or the other in business, you'll be inspired to do more. Then significance of creativity and innovation as a determines in business. Sorry, before then, we are going to look at the 5 pointers for fostering creativity's atmosphere that your top managers or top innovators will appreciate. These are the pointers. Then encouragement of experimentation. Give your top innovators the freedom to experiment with new ideas and approaches, even if they don't initially seem like they will work. Some of them will not want to work. Encourage them to take risks and learn from failures so that they can continue to develop and refine their ideas. Provide resources. Provide your top innovators with the resources they need to pursue their ideas. Whether it's funding, times, or access to tools or technologies. This will show them that you value their contribution and are committed to helping them succeed. Encourage collaborations and teamwork among your top innovators so that they can share ideas and learn from each other. Create space and opportunity for them to come together and work on projects. Embrace diversity and encourage a range of perspectives and ideas. Create an environment where everyone feels valued and heard, regardless of their background or experience. Collaborate the success of their top innovators, whether it's through recognitions. Celebrate the success of their top innovators, whether it's through recognitions, awards, or public acknowledgement. This will help motivate them to continue to push boundaries and pursue new ideas. Support a healthy work-life balance for your top innovators so that they have the time and space to recharge and come up with new ideas. This could include flexible schedules, wellness programs and time off, as wellness program and time off. Give them time off. These are the pointers that will foster creative atmosphere that their top innovators will also appreciate. Let's quickly look at the significance of creativity and innovation as a determining factors of business success. So we have the entrepreneurship development both ways and give room to the modern entrepreneurship. We have already looked at the theories of creativity and innovations. And then creativity and innovations will now, these are the factors that they need, the necessary factors that they need to be creative. An entrepreneur needs to be creative and innovative. They need resources, inputs to work. Also technological factors, strategies, culture, government management. These are what they actually need. Government and then management, they need that managerial skill. The government policies should also favor them. The culture, the norms and tradition of the society in which the business is located. They also need different strategies, factors that will affect different strategies to do business. And by the time these are the input, the resources that they need. By the time the careful management or utilization of these resources will now give room to the outcome, the outputs. The outcome that these resources will bring out is the new inventions. It will lead to problem solving. It will also give room to risk reduction. It will also help in competitive advantage, give room to competitive advantage. It will bring empowerment. People will be employed in the business. The youth and the teeming masses of the world, the youth, will be gainfully employed. And then capacity building. It will give room to capacity building. But if these factors are not being carefully harnessed, carefully managed, is not being carried out properly, or are lacking, it will not give room to this. So these are the actual determinants of business success. This determines the success of the business, the new innovations, the new inventions. It helps in solving problems, and then which will give room to entrepreneurship development. This will give room to entrepreneurship development. So this will take us to the end of our discussion. So by the time we come to live section class, there are so many things that we will do. So with the live section class will only be an interaction of the interactive class. We'll discuss. So I will advise you to read this, to go through these videos, listen to them carefully, so that by the time we meet on Wednesday for the live section, then we'll discuss. It's going to be an interactive class. Thank you very much for listening. See you during the live section class. Bye. Now, I am Dr. Helen B. Iyan, your course facilitator.